Welcome, welcome, everybody. This is the CyphaDen chat. I'm your host, Tayamu Deku. That's my homie Rambunctious. And
What up? What up?
today we have special guests Ty White, Jack Hyde in the house, Viral Haunt, actors, uh, freaking hip hop rapper over here. I didn't even know. We just randomly started talking about it. And he was like, bro, I do this stuff like this. And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh,
and
that's
uh
dope.
and he's actually nice with it, and he does his self-producing. That's dope. I,
Thank
I
you.
I'm just saying what it is. Like I said, I even and I don't do this with many people. Ram knows this, but I actually lended the invite. I'm like, hey, if you ever want to collab,
Yeah, no,
we
I
do
would
it.
absolutely love to. I'm definitely gonna get around to
Oh,
that.
definitely. No, he definitely don't do that with a lot of people for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really love
Yeah.
what I've listened to of yours as well, and
Oh,
absolutely.
thank. Yeah, nice. Thanks for listening. Yeah. I
Word
didn't
up.
know that
But
till right now, but that's dope. Yeah.
yeah. So let's talk about this upcoming movie. It's not out yet. It's called Viral Haunt. Maybe give a brief description of your experience with it, as well as your role in the film, if you can, without breaking some type of spoiler, since it's not out yet.
Okay. Um, so basically, so like yeah, just to work on Viral Horn, I have to say it was definitely something like really, really different and everything. Like, just being involved in a horror film. I mean, I haven't acted in a horror film for quite a long time, and just to be part of Viral Horn, to be and especially like to be part of something that's allowed me to step out of my comfort zone. It was just absolutely incredible. I mean, the cast and crew, like everyone was so supportive of one another. Like we
Awesome.
just we just got along like very well. Like because like we actually because obviously we have like different personalities, come from different backgrounds, but when we were on set, like everyone was just able to click and everything, and everything like moved very smoothly as well, and it was just absolutely incredible, just like learning from one another and everything, and just connecting with one another. It was extraordinary.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, I will second that. Should I say like what the movie's about, or like should I just talk about my experience on it, or
Let's talk about your experience
okay.
on it. Let's do that.
I had fun. Yeah, I was up there for a little while, chilling in my room most of the time because I'm not in like a lot of the scenes. And then I come out and I do my thing. I play a killer, right?
Yeah.
So, like
Dope.
from an
That's
acting
what's up.
point of view, like I didn't have any lines, right?
Oh,
It was all like storytelling using movement and breath.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I've trained to do that a lot, but I've never got to
okay.
actually put it into practice that way, which was it was really a treat to get to do that. And also
How
most
did you train doing that?
I mean I
Just,
I have a master's in classical acting, and
oh,
when
Mm.
I
so you train like in theater, physical
yeah,
acting, and
yeah.
stuff like that? Okay.
So
Okay.
like movement
Mm.
classes, dance classes, like studying how to tell
Oh,
stories
so you're
through
like,
movement.
Yeah.
let's fucking
I
go.
I watched,
Okay.
yeah, because I watched yeah, because I remember like I remember watching, I think I remember watching one or two of your scenes, Ty, and everything. Um and yeah, like I could tell like there was definitely like some level of like physical theater like involved in everything, and it was just it was like it was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing to watch. how,
It was
how how you brought the killer character, this killer character, to life.
Interesting. So did you guys have scenes where you interacted?
So like for me, in Viral Horn, I'm Richard, and
Okay.
Ty and I don't think we weren't in like the exact same scenes, were
So you
we?
didn't kill him or anything?
nope.
No.
No, spoiler alert. Yeah, he doesn't end up
No,
killing
no, that was a
me.
joke. Obviously, yeah, yeah.
um, but yeah, like I think because like
I guess
we
you can't say that either. I'm sorry, I shouldn't
I'm
have
not
asked that.
sure what I can and can't say. That's another thing.
Right.
I don't know, but yeah.
yeah, like we were involved in different scenes, obviously, because like for me as Richard, I was like one of the haunt hunters, one of the YouTubers slash streamers and everything. Um, but like for Richard, because like as Richard, I'm sort of like someone who's like deeply in love with the paranormal. Like I'm so passionate, like I was like so passionate about it, you know, and like sort of at the same time devoted, like and loyal to to the other haunt hunters and everything. And but like for Richard, he's not really like him and his friend Jake played exceptionally well by Jack Hoy. Jake and Richard, they sort of like started up this YouTube channel and everything, but like when the channel starts blowing up, Jake starts getting into more of like the fame, the money, you know, the views and everything, and they start like staging it and everything, and Richard's kind of like, this is not what I want it to be and everything. So yeah, it was, I think, like Richard, it was kind of a really interesting character. I mean, I'm not a believer in the paranormal activity myself, but yeah, like obviously I just had to like find some sort of like fascination and intrigue with the paranormal stuff, just to bring, to make Richard possible.
Yeah, yeah. Ram, I actually think it's crazy. So Ty, you were talking about how you don't have any voice speaking roles and you play this killer part in
Yeah.
the movie, and Ram is actually going to be
Yeah.
playing the similar type of role in a movie
Yeah.
that's going to be shooting in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Nice.
In 2025 in Wisconsin, it's my guy Cam. He's doing Cam Calloway. It's Horns and Halos Films. They're doing a movie called Banjo, and it's about well, I can't really say I can't really get into that actually too much, but that's so yeah. But I'm the character who is like there's a character who turns into the paranormal entity type, and I'm that character.
That's
So I'm not gonna say shit either, and so I'm not even gonna be in some of the action. You know what I mean? I'm actually gonna be, you know, not in some of it, not in some of it, but that's me. You know what I mean? Type thing. So it's gonna be weird, but
that's really cool though.
yeah. It's
Have
gonna be fun,
have
man.
either of you been to the States?
I'm from California.
You're from
Yeah.
California.
Oh shoot!
Yes.
Where are you from in California, man? Because
Santa Cruz.
man,
Like
is
the Bay Area.
anybody? I mean, yeah, you're because where you're from is being affected right now by the fires. Then.
Oh yeah, no, Santa Cruz. We're like 6 hours north, luckily.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know anybody who's been affected by the fires, but yeah.
Yeah, but man, that's horrible. What's going
So-
on? Yeah.
So wait, so you actually went to the UK to be in this, or you live there now, or what? Now I'm all confused.
I came to the UK for school, and then I met a girl, and I got a job and a place to live, and I just kind of ended up staying.
Nice.
You know,
Hmm.
Yeah. Nice.
yeah, just finding work here. Yeah.
I feel that.
Cool.
That's what's up. Santa Cruz, that's crazy. So that means you recently know about the pier that just broke off, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, my hope
Oh,
is,
yeah.
is
I
not
forgot
it's
about
like not like how it was growing up. Climate change is real, and I
Yeah.
have seen the effects of it. Like I grew up in the forest in the mountains, and I would go out and play outside, and I would catch snakes.
What?
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
What?
But no,
Snakes?
I would catch snakes and lizards for fun. That was like my favorite thing to do.
Oh my god!
The species that I would catch, the California garter snake, it's this beautiful black and red and yellow striped snake. They're endangered now because they prefer temper climates, and now the rainy season has been replaced with the fire season. So yeah, the pier's gone.
And that's
West
crazy. That's
is eroding. It's crazy.
that is crazy. And that's like that is the famous pier that was used in Lost Boys, right? I'm pretty sure. You saw Lost Boys?
Oh yeah, I've watched Lost
I don't
Boys.
know, actually.
Yeah,
I
great,
I
great.
I think the Santa Cruz Pier is what's used in the Lost Boys movie. We actually had Jameson Newlander on a podcast back in the
I don't know.
day
Yeah, that's right.
where
Yeah.
he was one of the Frog Brothers. If any of you are familiar with the Lost Boys
Yeah,
movie, so he's one of the Frog Brothers. We had him on here, and I'm pretty sure the Santa Cruz Pier is what was used in the pier parts for the Lost Boys
yeah.
movie.
It was like shown. It was shown in like the intro of the film, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's in the intro, and then they go back there. There's like the weird
Hmm.
fucking there's like the weird performance part where
Oh,
like the sax players like
oh,
playing this.
Tim Capello.
There
Tim
you go.
Capello.
Yes.
I still believe.
Yes. I
Yeah,
still
I
believe.
remember. He's like
Uh,
completely topless, like muscled up and oiled. I remember that.
I do not remember that at all. I really don't. I know I'm being honest. I really don't.
He's all oiled up. It's very
Weird.
very weird. Interesting.
Maybe I block it out.
But okay, so now the hip hop thing makes more sense to me because I know some UK MCs and I was like, how is this dude so dope and not
No,
not as known in the UK scene because I haven't heard UK rappers sound like this. So that now
Yeah, I'm
it's
not a
all
UK rapper, and I also
yes.
haven't really pursued it professionally. It's just been a hobby, so I'm not known by anybody really. But I feel like I do make good music, and I feel like
that's what's
it's
up.
got like the content of my music as well. I feel like what I'm saying is like there's not enough music that says the stuff that I'm saying, so I think I might try and build an audience.
I think you should do it, bro. And like I said, when you're ready to make some more shit and you need a collaboration,
Yeah,
I'm down. Like I said,
I
shit sounds
will.
dope.
I will. I
Uh,
will.
I
I
I
will.
mean,
I dig it.
I mean, like,
That's
I'm
what's
not.
up.
Like, that's the
I'm gonna
thing,
have to
though.
go
Like,
see it.
I'm not. Like that's the thing. I'm not experiencing like rap music or any. Yeah, like I'm not experiencing rap music. But I think like Ty, the fact that you're doing that, it's that's incredible, man. Like, good. Good for you.
Thanks. Jack, what kind of music do you listen to?
Um. Oh, I mean, I listen to like sort of like rock music, disco. Um. I mean, I listen to soul, jazz, R&B. I mean,
Okay.
I'm kind of like
Rap adjacent.
when it
You're a
comes
little bit
to
there.
music, like I'm kind of like really into the old stuff, like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early to
Interesting.
mid 2000s, like
Hmm.
that kind of music,
Yeah.
I
especially
feel that.
like Phil Collins and a local UK group, Lighthouse Family. I love their music.
Okay. Okay.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Ram, you got anything?
No, not at the moment. No.
Okay, so Jack, I wanted to know.
I was just waiting. No, actually, I do have one thing.
Okay,
I'm
what
gonna
do
be
you
honest. I am very confused that you like all of that, and there's no hip hop and rap that you like.
Right?
I don't believe that.
Right?
I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that at all.
That's
Like you
How do
don't
you
like you can't touch this.
like
You know what I mean?
R
Can't
and
touch this,
B,
dude.
like
Ice
soul?
yeah,
Ice
yeah.
Baby. You know what I mean?
I've heard Ice
Tone
Ice
Loc,
Baby. I've
Too
heard
Loud Crew.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I've
I
heard
mean,
Ice
that's hip
Baby.
hop. That's rap. I'm
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
I like.
Rap,
I mean,
rap has more than gun. No, joking.
yeah. No, I mean, I've heard those songs. I've
Okay.
heard those songs. Yeah, like Can't Touch This.
I mean, like you've heard Tribe Called Quest, probably.
Sorry.
Tribe Called Quest, no. Scenario, maybe, no. Never
No.
mind. Never mind.
I mean, I've heard
Wu
of.
Tang. I mean Wu Tang.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Tupac, Biggie.
Yep, yep. Tupac, Biggie. Yep, I've
So
heard that.
so so yeah, so
Okay. Okay.
he knows
Yeah,
the super famous.
Okay.
He's just not a
yeah.
particular big
That's
fan.
very
Which is
interesting.
I
okay.
No.
mean,
Okay. Yeah.
I've listened to some of their songs. I mean, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. I mean,
Yeah.
especially Tupac and Biggie. There's definitely a message and a
Right.
story there
Right. Right.
and everything. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
Um, so I had a question, Jack.
So I had to get to the bottom of that.
How do you focus going into acting for a full length project and short films, because you've been a part of a lot of short films? Is there any difference approaching these type of projects? Or obviously it's probably different for everything, but is there a different approach acting in short films as opposed to full length parts, like full length films?
Well, I would have to say like for short and feature films and like even like for TV series and web series, I always have like this I always prepare myself. Like I always have like this technique to like sort of like prepare myself. I mean, I know that every like every single character that I be, whether it's like, short film and feature film, obviously they're completely different from one another and everything. So, you know, even though they're completely different and I have to like try to figure out and understand like who they are and everything, I always use like the same preparation techniques. So it's kind of like in acting, um, because like you have like those acting questions that you usually hear, sort of like, what's my objective? What's the obstacle? How do I overcome this obstacle to achieve that objective and everything? But I try not to do that and try to like be more humanistic, incorporate more humanity to the roles that I take and everything. So it's kind of like I ask myself the questions like, who am I? Who are you? The person that I'm talking to? Where are we? And what's going on? So like I ask those questions and everything just to give myself a better understanding, and it's a good way to give me like a runway to help me get into those characters' minds, like putting the material in my body and letting and coming on set, not as like Jack the actor, but as you know, in this case, Richard the character for Vibalhorn, just like any other film. So
Hmm. Okay.
And Ty,
Um,
oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you have a similar approach, or is it different, or
Um,
Um, so I think like for because I usually because like my preparation technique, it usually be involved like circling like the give and take, sort of like focus on the literal words, sort of like focusing and listening to what the other person or people are saying and doing, because that's like really important. And much like in real life, like that improves like, you know listening, sort of like listening is very very key in acting and everything. So I
right,
try
right,
to like focus on that. And it's like in any type of production that I do, I always try to like provide substantiate everything, sort of like places, net people, objects, events that are mentioned and everything, sort of like, substantiate that, sort of like look at pictures, watch videos to give myself a better understanding of the situation that my character is in and everything, and to give it substance. And like I said, focus on the relationship. So it's kind of like, say for example, if I was acting in a short film, right, and the person I'm talking to is like my girlfriend for 3 years. Like, okay, so I'm asking myself these questions: how did we meet? Like where did we meet? What about our relationship? Has our relationship been a smooth one? Has it been a rocky one? So just to sort of like give myself layers of
right.
substance, to get to understand not just me, but the other characters involved as well.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Do you dang, I had it. I don't know what's going on. I had it. Oh, um, no. What the fuck? I just went blank, Ram. I don't know what just happened.
It's all good. It's all
Sorry,
good.
was I talk? Sorry, was I
No,
talking?
no, 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 no. I had something. And I had it, and then I don't know what happened with it. Oh,
So,
I got it. I got it. How did you guys get approached for this particular film? Did you have to audition? Did they reach out to you
Hmm.
particularly? Like how did that happen?
Well, yeah. I think for me, like, there was definitely like an audition slash self-tape process that I had to go through. I found the first time I found out about Viral Haunt was on Backstage.com, which is like this actors, filmmakers platform,
Mm.
and and obviously like and this is just me. This is just what I usually do. So like when I come across an acting job, obviously the first thing I do is I read through the bio. I the project description, you know, so sort of like the summary synopsis of what the film is about. I
Right.
read through the bios of like all the characters and everything. Okay, and sort of like availability, where the production's taking place and everything before I send my applications out. And so I go, and then I go back to the character bios, and I was like, okay, so I can go for this role, that role, you know, that these roles I think I'm definitely suitable for. And so I actually applied for 5 roles in Viral Haunt. I applied
Oh, so
for
you applied, and then they got back
yeah,
to you.
so I applied for the opening boy who gets, spoiler alert, who gets killed at the start of the film. I applied for
Uh,
I applied for Ty's role, the killer, and then I applied for Richard, Jake, and Joe. And yeah, so like obviously, so I sent my applications in, and Natasha got back to me and said like, you know, hey Jack, so we received your applications. We would like you to film a self tape and film a
sure,
self tape for
sure.
these roles. So I filmed the opening boy one. I thought I was okay. I thought it was okay. Like I thought I was the the material, the performance that I did. It was fine. It was fine. But obviously I had to like work on the other one, so I submitted that one off. The killer
Okay.
one, which was quite interesting, I had to do like this sort of like this uh fight self tape.
Yeah, what'd you do for that?
Oh, so
Cause
you did the same. You did the
yeah,
same one.
Yeah, so like for me, I mean, first time in my acting career that I've ever had to done like a like a self tape that
yeah.
involves like fight
Oh
choreography.
wow. Do you
And
still got that? I want to see that.
I
No, I'm
remember
joking.
like
I'm
because
joking.
like it involved like me holding like a it said like a knife, but I used like my glasses case as a
I
weapon.
used the knife. I went to the
Oh
kitchen.
really?
That's
I
that's why you're the killer,
Yeah,
I
right
went
and
to the
so
there.
like for me like I so obviously for me I had to do like a couple of like you know strangles, you know, sort of like
Yeah.
doing that
Yeah, it doesn't
thrust
look
with a
convincing.
knife.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That didn't look convincing. I'm gonna be real honest with you.
So yeah,
It didn't.
I know.
That
Well,
wasn't it.
yeah,
That wasn't it. You
I
got.
had
He's just messing with you, Jack.
I'm
I
just
know.
joking, buddy. You know, I'm just joking.
So yeah, like I actually filmed like so like for that one I filmed like 2 self tapes. Like, so I filmed like one where it's like full body, and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sorry mid shot, and then second tape it was like full body. So that way the casting director had a you know good look at like how I moved, you know how my
Yeah.
whole body moved. So I submitted that one
Nice.
off. I was kind of like, I mean it was definitely something new, something that I've never done before, and then and then I filmed like the Richard self tapes.
Mhm.
I think it was like one where it's like I had to do like a script, like a scene, you know, a scene that they gave me, and sort of like one where it was like improvised. So it's like 2 different scenes,
Okay.
and so I filmed the Richard self tapes, and I thought like, oh, you know, I actually felt really good. Out of those 3 that I've done, the Richard one, I felt I had the most fun doing. Like I was really happy with that one, and so and this was kind of interesting because I was actually working on learning and understanding and prepping for my Joe Self team, and I received a message from Natasha via backstage and said like, and she said like, you know, hey Jack, so we watched the self tapes that you submitted, and we were really impressed with your Richard self tape, so therefore you are our Richard. And so,
Oh, wow.
and like it was like during that was like during when I was preparing and working on my Joe self tape, and I was like, oh wow, okay, so I'm Richard. So I did make a start on Jake, so I put those 2 scenes. I was like, you know, I don't need to work on those 2 scenes. So you know,
Yeah.
I'm because I'm Richard. So yeah,
Can we go back to Ty where when your killer your process,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'd like to
Yeah.
hear that.
Sometimes you get a tape like you get the sides for your audition, and you're like, how the hell am I supposed to do that? Like in the sides, I was supposed to pick up a body and lift it over my head and impale it.
Oh yeah.
Like I can't. There's no way I can do that. So you kind of sometimes gotta just interpret it and be like, how can I show them like the essence of the character the best that I can? So yeah, I got a kitchen knife and I got like I put on like a hoodie and I like got it over my head and I got all scary and I
Oh, that's
just
clever, man.
usually you're supposed to like have a plain white background, but I just filmed it down the hallway of my house and I was like flipping the knife
Nice.
around and doing like tricks with it and stuff and then like fighting and like yeah, just and then I had to pretend that I got stabbed and so I hit the deck.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and I were like laughing over it.
Yeah.
She like
Yeah, bro. I mean,
When-
doing tricks with the knife. That's that Cali shit right there.
When,
Yeah.
yeah, Ty. Actually, Ty. Like when you mentioned,
I've been on that pier and almost got robbed.
when you actually mentioned that, Ty, sort of like I remember when you mentioned that, like lifting the body up and like putting it on like the antlers or hooks
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, like looking back on that, that was kind of awkward because like obviously you can't have an actual body like right next to.
Oh yeah.
You
So
had
I just
obviously
completely
we had to
ignored
cheat
that
it.
direction. I completely ignored that direction. I'm not
You didn't
gonna
even do it?
Really?
I'm not gonna do something in my audition that looks totally fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No way that I can sell it if I don't have the body.
That's smart. That's
Like,
super smart.
I
They're
actually
trying to
I
see
did
if I can play the character.
I
Hey.
didn't I actually did like I actually went through with that direction, but it's just that the way that you mentioned it, like that's actually really incredible because
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, actually, I
It's
got
all
that.
upcoming actors. That's a hack right there. For real.
Mm.
I don't
I mean-
know. I think it probably depends on like whatever casting
Yeah,
director.
you can't get away with that all the time, I guess.
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I got a piece of advice from someone who was in my cohort at Lambda and then left halfway through to go do a Netflix thing because he was already pretty successful. And he was like, I helped him with a self tape that he did to get cast in this Netflix thing. And
Oh wow.
he just did like 2 takes. And we were like, that's it? You're done? And he's just like, yeah, no. Like these guys, they're just trying to see like that you look like someone and that you seem like the character. And then if they like that, then they'll call you back and then you got to focus more. But it's like, for those initial self tapes, it's really just an impression.
Mm.
Oh, that's just what he said. I don't know if that's.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I mean, that mentality makes sense to me because sometimes, like let's say, I mean, I do comedy and music and stuff, so I feel like sometimes, don't overthink it. Right, record that verse once or twice. You know what I mean? First take, second take. Otherwise, I might record that verse 62 times if I think about it too much. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like sometimes just record that verse once, twice, get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? Let it be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because like you said, Ram, like for any self tape, it's best not to like overthink it. That's why, personally for me, I always limit myself to like about 2 to 4 self tapes because I think like with that, like 2 to 4, that is the perfect maximum. Because if you film something crazy like 10 takes, chances are like you're going to be like overdoing it and everything, and each take is going to be the exact same.
And they're not watching 10.
No,
Whoever's getting them
not.
tapes are watching 2, and they're like, hey, "Fuck out of here."
I mean, if they
nobody's watching 8 more.
Yeah. If they only want one self tape, then submit one self tape. But if they're open to the idea of like 2, sort of like 2 or 3 self tapes, then obviously each one of those tapes it has to be different. Like the choices have to be different. Yeah.
I got an audition for like a couple lines on an Apple TV series, and when I got that, I freaked out because I don't get auditions that like are that good often. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my absolute best work on this. And I have a week, so I spent like the whole week getting my tapes together. I paid money to go to a studio and get it like professionally done. And then the casting director's like, just come in and tape with us. Took about 5 minutes. They just used the takes that I did with them, and then I didn't get it. I was like, wow, like okay,
Damn.
it's recontextual.
Oh man, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just like, man, the irony. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, I
Yeah,
learned the lesson, you know.
yeah, man. Damn.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a lesson learned. Yeah. Is so we just had Natasha and Steven on her, obviously you guys know that. So they were talking about how they they had done producing and directing before with together and things like that. We actually Natasha had said on a previous podcast, right, Danko, that she was interested in producing and directing in the future,
Yeah,
and we
she said it.
reminded her, right?
We
Yeah,
reminded her because she
yeah.
she forgot that she said it on a podcast with us.
Right.
And then
And
she's
then
like,
now is
yeah.
doing that, right? Do you guys have any aspiration for that, like, or other, down those routes? We'll start with you, Ty, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm working on a short film right now called Forest and Fire about
Mm.
a guy who summons this fire spirit and then they fall in love, but she's only alive until the candle burns down. So that it's like a meditation on ephemerality, you know, and like how the things you love
Wow,
go away
Oh,
and come back and stuff like that.
that's
Yeah,
dope.
and it's
Yeah.
inspired by like my upbringing because I grew up practicing Huichol shamanism.
Oh, very. Whoa, slow down
We
there.
don't need to get into all
No,
that.
no, wait. Which? No, that's cool. No, I mean it's
Uh,
cool. My dad did just shamanic astrology for many
okay,
years. Yeah, I was
cool.
just, I'm just curious.
Huichol
What?
shaman. So the Huichols, they're indigenous to the Sierra Madre Mountains of Mexico. They're
Uh-huh.
yeah, uh, they're one of the last, if not, I think maybe the last pre-Columbian, pre-Christian
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
civilization.
Yeah. I've heard of them. That's why I'm interested. You grew up. All right. Yeah, you're right. Maybe we don't need to get into that.
It's a whole
that's
That
thing.
that's
might
a
be
whole
another
that's
podcast.
a whole that's a whole different podcast,
It's a
man.
whole thing. But
But I'm
yes,
interested though.
I've written a screenplay. I've got some interest from directors and producers, and I'm moving forward with the short film thing. I've
That's
got
awesome.
ideas for features, but I'm gonna start with the short because I've never produced before. But yeah, I've got stuff to say,
Mm.
and I feel like I have something to contribute. So yeah, totally.
Heck
Mm.
yeah, look out for that. That's dope.
That is dope. Jack, what about you? You plan on directing,
Um,
producing, moving that
well,
direction at some point?
I have actually been writing and producing since 2016.
Hmm.
It's mostly a lot of the works that I've written and produced have mostly been like short films and monologues. And I actually recently wrote a show reel scene, which I'm like planning to film. I think like maybe like mid February, I think, or yeah,
Nice.
somewhere around there. So yeah, just as something to like add to my profile. And in terms of directing, I haven't like I've never really quite like fully taken that spot yet, but like I'm definitely open to directing and everything. But I feel like at this point, like I'm just trying to like build, sort of like get as much experience as I can, as a writer and producer, and sort of like working on the set, just sort of like how
Mm.
everything is done, learning and absorbing, um, sort of like how the directors work, their different techniques, their way of like working and doing things.
Mm.
So yeah, like I think even though I've written and produced, which I still want to continue doing, I definitely as a director, being a director, that's definitely another area that I want to sort of like branch out and explore more.
That's what's up. Um, Monstrosity. That won
Yes.
it won a lot of awards. I didn't realize how many award or it was nominated for a lot and it actually won a lot of awards. And you won um best actor in that. Is that am I correct with that?
Yeah. So like Monstrosity, that was actually the first ever film that I wrote first ever film that I wrote and produced, and I played the lead role in that one. And yeah, it was like it was 2016. And yeah, like it was like selected for like about 50 film festivals and won a lot of awards, a lot of best actors. And yeah, like the film, it was like a psychological thriller. It's about this guy who studies studies criminology and everything. And he has a good education, a good golf, a good relationship, but at the same time he's quite curious about what really goes on in a criminal mind. And so his
Mm.
lecturer tells him to read this book called Crime and Punishment, and he
Mhm.
becomes like so inspired by it, especially by this one paragraph where it's like the main character Rodion Raskolnikov kills like this female, I think it was like a female pawnbroker or something like that, very evil woman. And then he realizes that in order for him to know what goes on in a criminal's mind, he has to become one himself. And so, like, he finds this newspaper of like this violent loan shark who's been acquitted. He meets up with him to sort of like do like a loan thing, and he kills the loan shark right there and then. And obviously, the reality starts to like sink in and everything, and his whole world just begins to crumble after that night, after that murder and everything. So yeah, it was definitely like it was like a really fun film. It only took us like 1 week for us to film, and
Wow.
yeah, like it was quite smooth, and everyone was um like that's the thing though, like when I was the producer and writer for Monstrosity, I didn't want to be like that controlling filmmaker where it's like, everyone, this is my film, everything has to be done my way and everything. I was like really open-minded, so sort of like, to the cast and crew, like, hey guys, if you have like any ideas, any suggestions or any feedback on how to make the script better, how to make the film better, please share. So I
Nice.
was, yeah, so like not only I didn't want to make Monstrosity just my film, but I wanted Monstrosity to be their film as well,
Mhm.
you know? Even if it
Yeah.
was like, the makeup artist, hairstyling, wardrobe, I wanted those guys, I wanted Monstrosity to be their film as well. So sort of like that, kind of like that um atmosphere of inclusion,
Mhm.
you that I wanted to have like on set, during the production of Monstrosity.
Probably made for a better film. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, I was really happy with how it all with how it all turned out and everything, and yeah, like I just I find I have like James Rollins, the director, like I owe it to him, like he was kind of like, I mean, I remember like I was auditioning for another one of his films called Double Take. Um and yeah, like, and I had to do like this scene from Fight Club where I was the narrator, Edward Norton's character. And yeah, it was definitely a very demanding scene. And
Yeah.
but first time ever, the whole casting room just erupted into like a round of applause. Like first time that's ever happened to me. Like the everyone in the room just like clapping, applauding my performance and everything. So
Right.
and I think it was like 1 or 2 months later, that's when James said like, hey Jack, so um, we've confirmed the castings for Double Take. Unfortunately, you didn't get the role, but I was so impressed by your performance in the film. Um, I want I want to write and produce a film with you. Do you have like any ideas? So I mean, the moment when he asked me that, I was a little bit nervous. I was like, oh God, I haven't
Of
written and
course, right.
produced a film, like I haven't created my own film. Oh, what am I gonna do? But obviously I calmed down and thought like, you know what, this is a big opportunity. So I'm just gonna go with it and see where it takes me and everything. So I think like Monstrosity was the film. Not only was it like the first film that I wrote and produced, but in a lot of ways it was kind of like the film that motivated me to get into the writing and producing aspects of
Right.
filmmaking.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Ty, I gotta know. I have to know where the inspiration comes from for producing and rapping. I gotta know. I just have to know.
Like, um, I, hi, this is really like kind of a deep question.
It's
Um,
cool. We can get deep.
okay, so it goes back to what I was talking about earlier. I grew up in well, I mean, I didn't live in a cult.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah.
Uh, so we practiced Weechel
Yeah, we got to
Shaman.
do a whole nother episode with
There, there
you,
was
bro.
there, there
This is awesome.
there
Oh
were a
my
lot of
God.
there were a lot of things about my life, things I was sheltered from. You know, my food, my diet was controlled, and like the media that I consumed also was controlled, which I think was good in a lot of ways. And I was brought.
May I ask how old you are?
I am 23 now.
Oh wow, okay.
So for the first 15 years of my life. And I think it's good that I wasn't allowed to just like watch or listen to whatever. But yeah, I wasn't allowed to listen to rap music. And my parents definitely looked down on it. And then weirdly, we were doing a celebration. I think it was like the cult leader's birthday. And someone in the cult wrote a rap. And the kids had to perform it. And when I was performing it, one of the older kids in the group, he's like, "You sound like Eminem." I was like, "Who?" So I listened to some Eminem, and of course, that's the guy who, I got into, like, when I would go to school, I would go and listen to it on like Pandora radio. I would play Eminem radio, and I would listen to like Dr. Dre and like Snoop Dogg and everybody. And like it felt like this really rebellious thing for me. Meanwhile, I'm getting like classically trained in piano and violin from 4 and 5 years old.
This
So
is the greatest. This is the greatest hip hop origin story I've ever heard. I swear to God.
Oh my God.
I'm already very like skilled musician at this point. Like I've got chops. Like I can play music. But I'm like getting into rap as like a rebellion against my parents. You know what I mean? And like,
yeah, that's why.
Like just angry shit, like Tech Nine. I went through a whole Tech Nine phase.
Jesus.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And then, yeah, I just grew to love it more and more and more. And just the more I listened, the more I found, and like the bigger the whole world got. And like, yeah.
So what? Yeah.
Hold on, Ram. Hold your question.
Sorry.
One second. I just have to. So I just have a statement. It's crazy to me that you rapped for the first time and got related to Eminem without even knowing who he was.
Well,
I'm just saying you had no background of hip hop rap shit, and then when you rapped for the first time, you got related to.
That's the crazy part for you.
It's crazy. Well, there's a lot of crazy parts, Ram, but I'm saying to me, it's crazy because like there's no previous background.
Yeah, no,
because
absolutely.
he wasn't able to grow up listening to like I've been listening to hip hop since I was like, I don't even know, like 6, 7, like
I always
forever.
feel like I'm playing catch up. I always feel like I'm
trying
to learn more about the history and everything, and like because I didn't grow up with it, and I'm always trying to like. I feel like I'm always playing catch up.
Yeah.
That's dope. But Ram, what were you gonna say? You had something?
I have no clue.
He lost it. I fucked him up.
It's cool. So first of all, shit, I don't know, man. There's a whole lot there. So I just think the whole story is cool because you have no clue what hip hop is. What music do you have a clue of? Like, what have you heard?
So
in the beginning, when your inspiration is a cult leader's birthday, and
so I would listen to whatever music.
Were you the best rapper too of all the kids?
Who the fuck knows, man? Like I didn't write any of the lyrics. I like to think that I was. I felt that I was.
Yeah.
But like,
wait, who told you sound like Eminem again?
Just like a random guy, like an older guy who's also in the cult. It's like not any.
So he snuck away from the cult and listened to Eminem.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
no, I'm just putting it all together. You know what I mean?
Yes, because it's
Dude, we should shut up and you should write this all for a movie. I swear to God.
You're not the first person who's told me
It
that.
would be a
Of
crazy.
course I'm not. What the fuck?
It would be a crazy movie, bro.
Yeah.
I would watch the motherfucking movie.
Hell yeah.
I'd
You
definitely
got
watch
to.
it.
You got to. You got actually guys should team up. You know what I mean? Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
maybe I will.
I wish I could be in it, but I'm imagining there were no black people in the code. I'm just gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying?
There was. Her name was.
Oh,
Her name was Winifred. There was like one black lady, but there's not a whole lot of black people in Santa Cruz, to be real.
was it the one who wrote The Matrix originally?
No. But
Ram's a comedian. You gotta.
I'm sorry.
I'll
just be saying shit. I'm just
what
fucking
was the
around. I'm
question?
joking. I don't remember. All right, we can move on. You said earlier we shouldn't get into this, and maybe we shouldn't have. But no, I'm just playing around. That's an awesome. That really is a really awesome way to get into hip hop to me. I'm not gonna lie.
To say that I converted my parents. They now do have a lot of respect for rap as a genre.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I've changed their mind, and
that's good.
That's dope.
Hard to change.
Yeah, that's
dope.
Yeah, so we actually recently had the homegirl Paulina Paul on the other day, who played a part in the TV show The Bear. I'm not sure if you guys are probably familiar.
Oh, right? Yeah. I've watched The Bear.
So we had her on here and we asked her this question. I'm just going to throw it out there because I just want to know top 3 movies of all time that come to your mind. Jack, let's start.
Hey, wait.
No, we're not doing different genres.
No, they might need 5 is all I'm going to say.
No, we're doing 3.
I'm pulling up my letterbox. I gotta.
we're doing 3. Jack, top 3.
Okay.
Top
movies of all time.
Okay, so my personal top 3. In third place, I'd have to say The Shawshank Redemption. I mean, absolutely beautiful film.
I do a red impression on stage with comedy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it right now.
Yeah. So my third favorite film would be The Shawshank Redemption. My second favorite, would have to be Pulp Fiction. I mean,
oh hell yeah.
Definitely.
That's one of Danku's. That's one of Danku's.
Yeah. I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan as well. Like
me as well. We have a conversation all day about it.
Yeah. Pulp Fiction is it's still like my favorite Quentin Tarantino film of all time. Yeah. So, and my third favorite one, first, my top favorite film of all time, 2006 film, The Departed by Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, Departed.
Absolutely, really great film. Yeah.
Yeah. Ty, what you got?
Those are classics. I can't. This is an impossible question for me to answer. I'm just
give us 3 of them.
Three that come off the top, and if you have an honorable mention, you can name that too.
Okay, so I'll say Apocalypse Now.
Wow.
I'll say One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Damn. Okay.
Say,
absolute classics.
I'm gonna say Poor Things. That just came out.
I don't know that one.
I don't know if I've seen
it. It's the one with Emma Stone, and it's like, I think it's really cool. I think it's like.
Oh wait, is it it has Willem Dafoe in it, right?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe, Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, is that Frankenstein? Dr. Frankenstein's monster.
They resurrect her, and it's brilliant, and it's so weird, and I love it.
This is a new movie that just came out. You said Poor Things.
It's new. Yeah,
I have not seen it. I'm gonna have to check it.
Poor Things with Emma Stone.
Honestly, I'm gonna add that to my notes.
Unsettling in the beginning. There's some it's sort of grotesque, but it's so fucking good. I love it. Also, I got Sorry to Bother You, Book of Clarence, I can't, man. This is an impossible question.
It is a hard question, and Paulina struggled with it too.
Anyway, I don't know, man.
Yeah, mine would change all the time anyway.
Yeah,
And they do.
it's
It does.
definitely a bunch of change, but Pulp Fiction will always be in my top 3, always. And I think me and Ram agreed on Forrest Gump. I love Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
That's my
that's
Oh
my
yeah,
favorite movie. Yeah,
Forrest Gump is a beautiful film. Yeah, I love that film.
yeah. Shawshank is way up there for me too. Honestly, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So talking movies, then, can you name a couple actors that inspired you to get into acting, or that you look up to as actors?
So for me, I'd have to say like 3 actors, like um, re really not just inspired me, but sort of like influenced me as well.
Yeah.
And those 3 are Leonardo DiCaprio,
Mm.
Daniel Day-Lewis, and Christian Bale.
Mm.
Like though, yeah, like that. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio. Because I think like what I find like really interesting is that when Leonardo DiCaprio was in, he acted in Titanic and Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet and everything, and that was when like the whole Leo mania thing happened. Like sort of like he was getting like so much female attention. Oh my God, he's so good looking, blah, blah, blah. And Leo actually said that he hated that
Yeah,
and
his
everything.
acting was overlooked.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
like he felt like the people were focusing more on his good looks than his acting and everything. So
Right.
Yeah.
he branched away from that good look,
Right.
the acting with the good looks, and just
Right.
and he took on like more mature and more serious roles, sort of
Yeah.
like The Departed, Blood Diamond.
I
Wolf of Wall
mean,
Street.
him as Mr. Candy in Django is insane.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he was
But Daniel
phenomenal.
Day-Lewis is the best actor you mentioned right there, though.
Oh
Too.
yeah, like
You know what I
Daniel
mean?
Day
Daniel
Lewis.
Day-Lewis is incredible. I mean,
Daniel Day
I'm
Lewis.
annoyed.
I mean,
huh?
I've watched his performances in Last of the Mohican, My Left Foot, Gangs of New York. Even though
Gangs of New
Gangs of New
York.
York, I mean, it was Gangs of New York. I thought the film was fine.
Wow.
I wouldn't say I
That's
wouldn't say
that's
I
top.
would
That's up there. I can't say top 10 because there's so many movies, but that's
yeah.
up there. That's up there for me.
Gangs of New York. I wouldn't say. I mean, I wouldn't say it was bad, but I wouldn't say it was like you know a good film. Like I wouldn't say it was like it was like one of Martin Scorsese's greatest works. But yeah, like Daniel Day-Lewis as Bill the Butcher in that film. My God,
Yeah.
I mean the accent and everything. He was just
Yeah.
spot on. And
Yeah.
like Christian Bale, like this guy, like Christian Bale, like when I watched his films, sort of like The Machinist, the Batman films, American Hustle, and American Psycho, and The Fighter, like I was amazed because I was watching this actor deliver such an unbelievable amount of like intensity and determination to his roles that I've never seen from any other actor. I mean, like losing so much weight for The Machinist
Yeah,
to the point.
they're all various roles. They're all
Yeah,
different.
he's like so skinny to the point where you could literally see his rib cage. He like eating an apple and a can of tuna per like he and also bear in mind like the machinist, he was so skinny he had to do like an awful lot of like running scenes. So it was just incredible. And then obviously he had to like pack on a few pounds, build some muscle and everything for the Batman film after the machinist wrapped up. So it was just like
Yeah.
I'm just like really influenced by this level of intensity and commitment that he delivers and that he brings to every single one of his roles that he takes on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ty, what you
really,
got?
yeah.
I'm gonna say James McAvoy, Jack Nicholson, and Sam Rockwell.
Okay.
Nice.
I mean,
I
I
like
could
it.
say more, but
I
yeah.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with the two besides Jack Nicklaus. I'll be real honest, and I might know who you're talking about if I saw him, but I'm not familiar with the names to be honest.
Yeah, James McAvoy probably most famous for being Professor X in like the new generation of X.
Bro, you don't know James McAvoy?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You know him.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Okay, it clicked.
And
It just clicked.
It
Okay,
was
okay.
Rockwell, he was in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, playing that weird zany character with the blonde hair. But then
Yeah.
he was
I don't
also
know that
in,
movie personally.
okay, it's really fun, really good movie. But then he
All
was
right.
also in Three Billboards Outside
Mm.
Oh,
I don't know that
I
very
either.
saw 3 billboards.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very different, very very different characters, and I
All right, I
really
gotta check those out.
like yeah that range. But then I also like the part of the reason he's on that list is because he's not in the tabloids.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? He's
Mm.
the reason that like I look up to certain actors sometimes is not just because they're amazing actors, but also because they found a balance um,
Mm.
in their life where they're not like involved in drama.
I like that.
They get their money doing their acting shit, and they're really good.
I feel it.
That's the only time you hear from them, and
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah. I dig it, man.
yeah, yeah.
that's
Real
actually
quick.
a good way of working as well.
Yeah, real quick. Ram, did you never saw Split, man? Split with James McAvoy is crazy. He
Oh
plays,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Split is absolutely crazy. Okay, I just didn't place the
yeah.
name when he said
yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he was the guy
Split
with
is incredible.
DID, dissociative identity disorder, and he was
Yeah.
Yeah,
like something like
yeah,
what, like 20 different identities,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
one
yeah,
of which
yeah.
was like
That was
six,
incredible acting. Yeah,
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 one of which was like a 6 or 9 year old boy.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
it was
yeah.
crazy. It was crazy.
That
Mm.
was wow. Yeah,
Um
that one. I forgot
oh,
about that one. Yeah, my
but yeah,
bad.
man, this
Very
this has
versatile
been
as well.
super dope talking to y'all, man. Like Ram had said, we could probably set up damn near a separate episode with both of y'all and talk origin
Yeah,
stories, you
really,
know what I'm
we
saying?
could. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we gathered talking about Viral Haunt, which is coming out
Yeah,
at
maybe we
some
could do
point,
that after the
hopefully.
movie. Maybe after the movie, do two separate ones or something.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
we can maybe
Just
do
to
that.
get more of you guys' whole story. Because bro,
Mm.
your whole story with the cult, that'd be I mean, if you want to come on, that'd be dope, dog. I mean,
yeah,
it'd
sure.
be
Why
fun
not?
as hell, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
and
sure you have some interesting beliefs then and stuff now in life, you know.
I do.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's incredible, man.
And you're honest. I like it.
yeah, yeah.
You're like, I'm not gonna bullshit you. It'll be weird.
But I, yeah. But I definitely look forward to seeing y'all in Viral Hunt, man. And before we
Sure.
get up out of here, I definitely want to know what y'all have coming up. Aside from that, like, what are you guys working on now that you can talk about? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm actually acting in a feature thriller film, sort of like around like late January, so like late this month. We actually started production in last year in late November and everything, but it got like the shoot actually got postponed because like there was like a couple of like one of the crew members was going through like some personal matters and everything.
Sure.
Yeah, so obviously the shoot got postponed. So I'm acting in that. The film's called Bitter Revenge, and yeah, I kind of like I'm like this. I play this guy who's like this a record producer, and just but behind that working as a record producer, he is an absolute psychopath. So like
Very interesting.
a psychopathic murderer.
So a psycho thriller kind of.
Yeah, like I'd say like it's a psychological thriller drama. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
Interesting.
like we're I'm shooting that in Southampton. So yeah.
Are you gonna have to do some killing scenes?
Sorry?
Are you actually gonna have to do some killing scenes?
So like the scenes that I'm involved in, spoiler alert, yeah, there is gonna be like only one scene of me killing someone. So
I gotta keep it real with you. You gotta work on it. You gotta work on the stab movements, bro. I'm keeping it real with you. I'm only keeping it real with you just because I want you to succeed. I'm being real. I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm being real. You gotta come more aggressive.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I understand, Ram. Yeah.
For sure. For sure. Good luck with that, though. For sure.
What about you, Ty? What you got?
On the 23rd, I'm doing a scratch night at the Deptford Lounge. Like it's a extension of the Albany Theater. Just if you want to see me do a little bit of live theater. I've got the
Oh,
short film
interesting.
that I'm working on, and I'm making an album. It's called Another Day, Another Dilemma. It's gonna be 10 songs, no features, no skips, and it'll be sometime this year. Yeah.
Dope. I love
So
to hear it.
what's the concept behind that, the album, but behind the title?
Behind the title,
Yeah,
it's
I'm curious.
like
I mean, is the title the kind of the concept of the album as well?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's I've been working as a waiter the past like year and a half and just like struggling to, you know, pay rent and get food and like meanwhile the whole world is kind of falling apart. So
Yep, yep, yep.
it's a political album. It's like about
Nice.
it's about what's going on in the world, but also it's about working in a restaurant and about
Mm.
like class antagonism among the
Nice.
lower class when really we should be focusing on the elites. But then it's also about every now and then it's about just my girlfriend because I love her.
Aww.
But
That's,
yeah, it's
that's what's
just
up. That's
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
up. Man.
That's interesting. I'm
Um,
very excited
okay.
to hear that now.
So
But
okay, well, now I have one more question now.
let's keep it rolling.
Because you had mentioned just because you had mentioned the concept of the album, and you're in the UK now, so I'm curious, uh what is the cost of living out there? Because I mean, I've been struggling forever. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I mean, yeah, I'm struggling too.
yeah.
So
Are you guys in
I'm
New York?
curious. No,
Huh?
I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I'm
Like
in Louisville,
right,
Kentucky, but I've
like
been in
right.
Austin, Texas in the last year, so
Yeah,
kind of.
I mean, I know why you would ask me why if I'm in New York because I have the style, but of like a New York MC.
Yeah.
But no, I'm like I don't know if you're familiar with Milwaukee. It's like an hour north of Chicago, um, area. But yeah, I'm curious what the cost of living is because groceries here are skyrocketed. Like they're crazy out here right
Yeah.
now.
No, it's fucked. It's I mean, I came and I did a show last summer in San Francisco and I was blown away. Like you're spending like $100 every time you go to the fucking supermarket. Like
Oh,
it's
easy. Yeah.
here it's like you could get, you know, 3 or 4 days worth of food for like 30 pounds.
Mm.
And like
Huh.
Oh,
there's public transportation, there's public health care, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
it's
right.
not a perfect system, but it's like in my experience,
Well, the
my
public health care is a big one.
yeah, yeah, and like for me as an actor, it's New York, LA, or London. In LA, I need a car. I can't afford a car, and I can't
Yeah.
afford the groceries. In New York, the property is insane. It's
Well,
worse.
no, and they just hiked up the transportation crazy. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
So I mean,
whether you drive or whatever you do, yeah, yeah.
it's really hard here, but it's better. But it's like
Hmm.
yeah,
Huh.
I've been trying to find a way out. Living in the UK, shit's crazy. They're on the same route.
Interesting.
Man. And Jack, what's your experience with that? Or are you, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think because um, I think because like that's the thing then because like my family and I we actually moved back to the UK like 2 years ago because we lived in Singapore for like about 28 years, so like
Oh,
almost my
okay.
whole life basically. And so like just to move back to the
Shit.
UK, yeah, like so just to move back to the UK for good 2 years ago.
Wait,
um
how old are you? You lived in Singapore for 28 years?
yeah,
How
yeah,
old are
yeah,
you?
I'm 30. Yeah, so
Oh,
like
so yeah, your whole life. Yeah.
yeah,
How
almost
did
my
you
whole
not mention that up till now? Yeah,
See,
we gotta
and
have
this
a
is
whole
what I'm
nother
saying.
podcast.
This is
We
why we
gotta have
gotta
two
have y'all
whole nother.
back
What the?
on your own shit to tell the origin stories because it's crazy. Like now
yeah,
we're just getting pieces.
Singapore, dog.
Like
Look,
now,
easy. Look, Ty's even like, what? He's like, we were on set for 48 days together. You never told me this.
but yeah, like
That's
I live.
awesome.
I know, like that. I mean, that when I tell when I tell that to a lot of people, like, oh, I've never lived in the UK, I've lived in Singapore for almost my whole life, that completely surprises like a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so like they asked me like, oh, so like Jack, how like you've lived in Singapore almost your whole life, how come you still talk in a British accent?
Yeah, I was just about that was my next question. Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I'm confused.
Because I went to an international school, so I was kind of like, you know, I was just able to like maintain that. I mean, because like in Singapore, they have like this Singlish accent, which is kind of like, you know, broken English, you know, so sort of like cannot la walao, you know, and it's just that like, I mean, I do have like some Singaporean friends, but it's just that like when I because I went to an international school, and even though I like heard the Singlish accent before, um, I just never quite fully adapted to the Singlish accent, you
I
know.
see.
So that's why I was able to like keep that British accent and everything. So, so yeah, but yeah, like my family and I, we moved back to the UK 2 years ago, and I'm still kind of like learning and absorbing, you know, at you know how things are done in the UK, because obviously in the UK, living in the UK, it's much different than living in Singapore and everything. And Singapore has become like it's become like crazy expensive and everything. So that's the main reason why, you know, we decided to move back to the UK because of that. So yeah.
That's what's up. Well, yeah, man. Like I said, this has been great, man. Talking to
Yeah,
both of
man.
y'all.
Good to meet both of you guys, man.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna
I
have to
hope
set up.
I hope my jokes weren't too much. I'm just messing around. You know what I mean? But no, good to meet both of you guys, man. For real.
Yeah, and we're definitely gonna have to reach out and have y'all both on your own podcast episode to talk about these origin stories, because I need to hear them. I know Ram wants to hear them.
100%.
But yes, this has been the CyphaDen chat. This has been the CyphaDen chat, man. Presented by CyphaDen Music, where we inspire even those higher. And remember to never stop chasing your dreams, because you will never know what you are fully capable of.
Yes, sir.
I'm your host, Tayamu Deko. That's my homie, Rambunctious. And today we had special guests from the upcoming Viral Haunt, actors in their own right, all that. Ty White, also musician. Yes. So we've had Ty White, we had Jack Hyde in the building, and we look forward to talking to y'all in the future, and we appreciate y'all to the fullest. Thank you again.
Peace.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
y'all. Have a good day.
This is CyphaDen Music.